Hello and welcome. It is that time again where we get a migrating host because the host of the session, Justin's, just left. That totally didn't throw me off. Great. Yeah, hello. You're watching SLR Tier 2, Season 7, Round 6. A lot of numbers to remember. And we're at the most fit track on the calendar, probably. Apart from like Abu Dhabi, where you fall asleep driving it. That's kind of scary. But we're here at Monaco, and drivers are moving. I hope. Oh yeah, we're getting a new lobby. That's great. And yeah, because this is probably going to be mayhem. And last time we had mayhem, he helped me very well mentally. I've brought along Tipsy again. Hello.
Afternoon, boys, ladies and gentlemen, fellow mammals. Yes, I am here to keep you sane, Timo, through the absolute carnage of what will be Monaco.
Keyboard Magnus has changed his name into Keyboard Magnus and Hi Timo. I'm very honored. But yeah, we also have a night race. I don't quite know why. I don't know if we're gonna have the same in 2 Cyril. But okay, and the amount of drivers that I've left leads me to think that we're gonna get a new session, but as long as we don't have one, it's right on board with Rocket unless he's driving. Well, that looks to be quite pacey to me. Joel has left the session.
Yes, it's highly likely that we'll probably will get a new lobby. But to touch on the reason why they're driving at night, I'm not aware of the reasons why. However, I would guess that it has probably got something to do with the sun. I think is coming out of the tunnel. I think, or there's a yeah. There's some part of the track from memory that the sun is really bright and it kind of blinds you. So I think that's maybe why they went for nighttime.
Or they just think it's absolutely fancy and they got a point.
Yeah, so I ain't getting the invites for the new lobby, Timo, so
yeah,
may have to...
I'm gonna hop over. I think I'm gonna go back into starting soon while we're waiting for things to load up, because everyone needs to see that. So yeah, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. And we are back for the qualifying session, this time the actual qualifying session, and I suspect it was maybe because of the weather, because of the time of the day, because now it looks bright to me, even though the lamps are on. So that's weird, yeah, it is definitely daytime. And yeah, it is Monaco. So we've seen in the past races, like, the season has been kind of shaky. We've seen the first 3 rounds have been fairly clean, and then we had Baku, which was like not that great of race quality. And
the standard kind of dropped massively in Baku, sadly.
yeah, and then Spain was like still kind of meh, and Monaco would be a track where you don't expect clean racing, to be honest, because it's just, you know, it's Monaco. It barely qualifies as a racetrack, so, you know, clean racing is gonna be hard. It's just super narrow, and like you make a mistake, and yeah, your tires are gone. But that also means that all drivers are probably going to be more cautious than usually. As I say that, someone crashed out. I think it's a Ferrari, so it's probably Noel. Yeah, Noel went into Mirabeau there. I think the time of the day is not right though. It's like, I think either morning or evening. That's weird. Normally we drive unofficial.
But we did have, just before the session died there, we did have 10 drivers. Sky Bits was also here, but he ended up hitting the wall in qualifying. So whether that just really demotivated him, or unless he's still in the medical car getting treatment, we are down to 9 drivers, which is a little bit disappointing. You know,
Yeah.
you kind of see this quite often many seasons whenever it comes to a Monaco race, and suddenly the attendance just drops. Suddenly people can't drive on this particular day. And it's a shame. I mean, if you're going to take part in the league, you should do every race, whether you like them or not. But it's also worth mentioning too, we were discussing off air about the penalty situation. There are quite a few drivers currently sitting on 20 points at the moment, and it won't take much more for them to get themselves a quality ban. Few of them are not racing today, but the 2 who are racing is Wimpy and Justin, who are both sitting on 20 penalty points each. So they are going to have to keep their noses squeaky clean for this race if they don't want to suffer any quality bans in the upcoming races.
He also kind of reinitiated the FIA system, FIA staff basically. We've got a lot of new faces in there. We've gotten some old ones out, like myself. So the penalties are going to be done in time from now on. We also added like another different categories of things that give you penalty points, so we could react accordingly to every incident. And yeah, let's hope that makes the driving a little bit cleaner. We've had our fair share of problems, but I mean, if there's a place where you could turn things around, Monaco might be the one. Like, it would be quite nice to see a clean race here, because everyone's gonna want to finish, and just by finishing, you're gonna get a good amount of points, and if you keep your nose clean, chances are you're gonna even finish in like a higher position.
Well, the beauty about the fact that there's only 9 guys is that they're all guaranteed points.
Yeah.
But
even Joel's first points of the season.
May well be. But what's this? Who says flap says the voice over is low? Whose voice in particular? Is it Timo's or is it mine? Well, you see, people are Speedy's are asking for the tires. That's the beauty of actually being a spectator, because I don't have to depend on Timo. I've got the tires up myself. But everyone's running on softs except a Keyboard Magnussen, who's doing a medium run at the moment. Well, he's just done a medium run. But yeah, I was going to say, even though there is only 9 drivers, again, a low attendance, lower than what I would have liked to have seen. Monaco,
tires.
So I've asked Timo. I've asked in chat because Philippe, what's that? Flip flap says the voiceover is low, and I've requested, can you please say whom? And his reply is the guy with the higher voice.
Oh, that is very nice. Okay, give me a second. I have to. Wait. Is it better now?
Don't know. Just needs to wait a second while it sorts itself out. Got a black screen at the moment.
I re-muted and unmuted.
Okay, it's fine now. It's fine. It's fine.
Great. Okay.
All right.
Well, that was a technical problem. Oh, thanks.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Tara. So, I was having quite a wee speech there, Timo, and no one got to hear it.
Yeah, it's my fault. OBS was bugged. I'm sorry.
Well, what I was saying, just to repeat myself while we're watching these guys, although there is quite a low turnout, 9 drivers, Monaco, such of the nature is of the track whereby it is really difficult to try and find enough clean space on the track to set a lap. And so with a full grid, it's really difficult. 9 drivers seem to be doing a good enough job here, finding enough space. But as I was saying just while we were muted there, even if you are on your on your in lap, say, and there's a guy approaching you in Monaco, it is such a difficult place to try and even move over for someone, such as the nature of the track. But like I said, everyone seems to be managing it no problem so far, so there shouldn't be any issues in that regard. As Verk is currently setting up P1 with a 1 minute 10.2. I would like to see at least someone jump into the 1 minute 9s. I don't know if the Tier 2 boys are capable of that. No disrespect, it's just an unknown. I don't know if they can do that. But I would imagine with just over 9 minutes to go, I would say, yeah, there's a few people here I can see maybe getting into the 1 minute 9s.
I mean, they are really tough. I speak from experience. It is hard. So, like, probably the quickest times you could expect in something like SLR or later this evening too, so like high 8s. So, I mean, like high 9s or low 10s sounds about right for Tier 2. I am doubtful that we're gonna see like nines. Maybe we'll see like one or two, but I don't think. Oh, Keeper Marcus is obviously struggling a little bit here. I don't think we're gonna see multiple of them. Satoshi and Verk are probably the best shout for now. But maybe someone comes in and surprises us. We've got yellows in sector 2, but it's Monaco, so we basically have yellow flags everywhere all the time.
So this will be, we expect this to be a one-stop strategy for the boys, unless of course they run into some issues and wing changes and what have you. That is very easy to happen in Monaco. I'm sorry, while I mute myself while I'm choking. But yeah, I've said many times on previous streams, these kind of tracks here, like Monaco, I absolutely love them. They're a personal favorite of mine. Real old school, like no margin for error, no runoff areas, none of that nonsense. It's just make a mistake and you're in the wall. And that's my kind of track. These real technically difficult tracks. It's for me, it just, whenever I'm driving them, I just completely wake up, fully focused on every single corner.
I don't like it at all, but it's not down to that, it's more just that I don't like the layout. It doesn't feel like it's made for an F1 car, because it's so bumpy and everything, and so narrow. Like, I like Singapore. Like, Singapore and Baku, I like the same things you just said about Singapore and Baku, but in Monaco, I just like, no. Don't.
Monaco's just like the absolute extreme version of any of those tracks.
It's not fun to drive.
No, I think it's fun to drive, but it really takes everything out of you. If you remember, was it last season whenever Terra was racing, and he got on the podium? I think he was it P2
in the rain.
Yeah, in the rain. That's right. It went from wet to dry, or dry to wet. I think.
Had a full wet race.
Was it a full wet race?
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I was saying to him, was it yesterday, that I remember listening to him after the race, and he was out of breath. Such is the nature of Monaco. It's just fully committed. You're not really racing each other, really. You're racing the track. And for me, that's the ultimate peak for me, and whenever it comes to racing.
No, for me it is racing other drivers. Now I've got my fair share of difficulty there.
Pixel Forest says in chat, quite accurately, but it's also quite sad too that there are more people watching the stream than there are actually racing.
Well, I mean, that's normal. But there's more people. There's 5 spectators in the lobby and there's 9 drivers. Oh no, collapsed the wheel a little bit there. In qualifying you can do that, even though he's lost a good bit of his front wing. Still gonna finish the lap, maybe gonna improve. Nolan was kind of an unknown because his pace is very good. Oh wow! His pace is very good, but he usually doesn't practice, so it's like a coin flip what he's gonna do really. And this time,
Nolan's the guy I rate whenever he practices. I would rate him quite highly. I think he's a very good racer. I remember I had quite a titanic battle with him. Was it last season in Spain? We were racing pretty much the whole race side by side. So I like Noel. I think he definitely, when he gets his head down, he can really perform well on these races. And he's already done it here already. 1 minute 10.1. So we're eking closer, guys, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, fellow mammals. We are eking closer to that 1 minute 9. Even if I get a 1 minute 999, I will be happy. I just like to see them dropping in the 9s.
I mean, everyone wants to see 999 just because it's a beautiful number, to be honest. Like, it is very cool. So,
we have Neon Rez in chat saying that he would have loved to have joined them, but it isn't fast enough. But as Mr. Terra accurately says, as I was about to say it to him, speed, well, fair enough, qualifying speed, yes, is a big deal in Monaco, but it's just more about your own technical ability of being able to survive, ultimately. And as Verk goes 1 minute 10 dead almost, so we're getting closer to the 9s. Come on, guys.
that is what excited Tipsy. Normally you don't get him that excited.
I have my moments. Yeah, but we're getting now close to this the busy end here of this qualifying session, where these guys will be really starting to tune themselves in onto their break points and tweaking it, whatever they need to tweak. What do you reckon, Timo, in terms of pole? Who do you think? Noel's stuck on a set of mediums. I mean, what's A? I don't quite understand that.
I'm gonna say just because he's not one of the top.
Oh, Wimpy. What's going on with Wimpy? Wimpy's creeping in the tunnel. Was he just letting that? I think he may have. Yeah, I think he was just letting Satoshi by. So fair play to Wimpy. Was it keyboard? Yeah.
And it is absolutely impressive what he does, because in case you didn't know this, he's driving on a keyboard, which is quite insane. It looks, it's very inspiring to watch.
The only issue, of course, I would imagine, well, I said the only issue, I can imagine there are a multitude of issues driving on a keyboard, but obviously in Monaco it's all about your tire temps. And so that constant tapping on his keyboard to try and turn that car out is bound to be making his tires squeal with the temperatures.
Yeah, I think it's one of these tracks where you literally can't really drive in a keyboard, because, I mean, it is said, it is said because it is true, that the pad is like objectively horrible on this track, and the keyboard is just the pad and even worse. And there goes my, I don't know if I said it out loud. I don't think I finished my sentence. My prediction was going to be Satoshi for the pole, but that's not happening after he is retired from the session here. So what do you reckon? Who's it going to be for you? Probably a better guess than that.
Well, Verk's sitting pretty up there at 1 minute 9s. I wouldn't put it past Noel, to jump him.
Yeah, it is probably between the two. Wimpy is on a fairly quick one. He looks... I mean, his qualifying pace has been very good. He's been on the front row last race in Spain, and maybe here. But
you know,
front row doesn't improve enough.
But maybe Justin too. Justin is on a good lap. He's looking good here. He might actually just take this. He might actually stretch into the 1 minute 9.9s. Possible.
Make Tipsy happy.
Boom! There we go. There we go, Justin.
How do you feel now?
Instantly. Well, I called it a 1 minute 9.9. I think that may well be our poll. So I'm just going to run on board here, Timo. Well, I don't know who you're running on board with, but I'm going to keep an eye on board with Verk and Noel together. So do you want to pick one of the guys and I'll pick the other?
I'm gonna pick Verk.
Okay, and I'll watch Noel.
So
the key thing here will be what looking for, of course, will be the deltas. We're not really. What are you looking for? Yeah, this is going to be tight. This is going to be really tight. I think Justin may well have just nicked that. But we're going to yellows in sector 2 and 3.
Maybe a slow Ferrari. I don't know.
All right, so Verk starting his lap, and he's already improved by just under 2/10, which would actually put him in P. So Noel's a bit slow coming around for his starting his lap, so I'll still run on board with Verk. Approaching the into the tunnel section here, we're going to be getting his delta short. I want to make sure you nail that brake zone. Don't run off for easy to invalidate there. All right, just around this corner, we will see his delta. Has he still improved? Oh!
Yeah,
but he's still improved.
It's some oversteer in that car. Look how he cuts the corner. Or, well, he doesn't.
What? Sorry, Timo. I just seen Noel's delta. And, well, yeah, something must have been wrong there because he says he improved by 7/10. That
doesn't sound right, but Verk is going to improve and he's going to not improve, actually.
Oh.
I thought he was going to improve. Well, I called that one early. So he's in P2, obviously, for now. So let's jump over to note that he's just about down on this time. So it looks like Justin might have actually done this. Very aggressive on the harbour chicane here. And now going towards Tabak. He looks very quick. It's,
he has improved. He's improved.
Oh, yeah, he's up just a bit. If he's got a good final sector, he's going to be able to take that. But I think a jump on the front row looks very likely. Through the far inner corner comes Noel. Can he take the pole away from Justin? It is Ferrari versus Mercedes, and boom! The Ferrari does it, or Noel does it in the Ferrari. He's got the pole, and that was a beautiful lap from what I've seen half of it. But
yeah, Noel doing me proud there. I did call it that Noel was on fire for this pole, and he does it not by much either. But yeah, we're gonna pretty much, in terms of those times, a three-way fight for a raw speed in Monaco. But of course, speed in Monaco is one thing; it's the other thing keeping it out of the wall.
Yeah, and I mean, I know a lot of people have probably tuned into this because they expect carnage, but maybe this is the track where everyone's like, I'd rather be careful because it's Monaco. You want to finish, and to finish first, you first have to finish, to quote that very cheesy racing quote.
Exactly.
And yeah, maybe we're gonna see this impacting the driver's mindset for today. So I don't know. Who would you predict for victory?
Do you know, if Noel keeps out of trouble, I would say Noel's probably got this one. Judging the okay, we've got Verk. Where's Verk P? Where's Verk? Where did he qualify? P2? No, P3. I see the problem with well, that's not a problem as such, but over the recent races, we have observed that Justin and Verk do have the good pace, but it's sometimes a little bit of their impatience can catch them out, as we've seen in recent races. And Monaco is the kind of race where you do not want to be impatient. You need to be 100% focused and nail every single break point, pretty much every single time. And just given the nature of where they've been driving recently, wouldn't be surprised if there is maybe one or two little errors in there with them two guys, especially when they're running together. It is possible that Justin and Verk could potentially take each other out. Satoshi's he knows how to win. Satoshi's, he's already the tier 2 champion. He knows how to win. Yes, he's down in the ultimate pole lap, but he does know how to win a race distance. So I wouldn't put it past Satoshi either. Of course, Clara is also an unknown, not an unknown quantity, but a dark horse. So we've seen in Baku how well Clara kept out of trouble and got a good finish. So, and then Inferno Koi, a guy who I also mentioned regularly in live chat and on Discord as well, a guy who's just improving consistently. His consistency in races has improved remarkably. So really, there are a multitude of people who could win. But with that being said, with that being said, if Noel can keep his head down, I'm going to give it to Noel.
Okay. Call it teammate bias. I've gone wrong there in qualifying as well. But I'm gonna say Satoshi, just because I think he's a little bit of the outsider there. But I think the guys at the front are going to be very hungry for victory, maybe a little bit too hungry for it. And I think Satoshi's gonna hang back a little, and as soon as something crazy happens, like maybe a safety car, maybe a collision of the top 3, I think then he's gonna strike, and so he's my pick for this. And we're gonna see. We're gonna find out in the next 39 laps, which will be very long 39 laps for the drivers, as we hope that we get a good camera angle. And now we do. It is 5 red lights at Monaco, and it's lights out, and away we go. Reasonably good start from Noel. Yeah, he's already got Justin right behind him. Verk is already challenging into turn 1. Squeeze up to the curb. The Ferrari on the outside is Clara. Clara up into P3. Satoshi has lost positions. Verk has lost 1 position. Keyboard Magnussen jumped Wimpy, and they are now running through the first sector here, as my voice apparently doesn't want to live anymore.
There was a little bit of front wing end plate there from one of the Ferraris. I think it's Clara's. Yeah, it's his front left.
Yeah. And that is already... Justin is very close to Noel. Yeah, that is... The fact that Clara managed to get there is already a good thing for his teammate, Noel. Because it's gonna kind of protect them and already cut the train a little bit. To Justin and Noel, but now right off the line, to me it kind of looks like Justin might have the pace on Noel, but it's obviously just 2 sectors driven yet, so it doesn't really tell a lot. It's just the impression I get from looking at this.
Yeah, so initially the big winner so far in this first lap is of course Clara and Keyboard Magnussen. They're up 2 places, and 2 places in Monaco, and the first lap is invaluable. As we see, Keyboard Magnussen runs a little bit wide, and he's into the pits already, so has he got damage?
Or maybe his tires are toast.
I'll just keep a wee eye on Keyboard here, just check if he's getting a front wheel change. And he is indeed, he's getting a front wheel change, and he switches to the hards.
I mean, so yeah, he might be able to make it to the end here. The normal strategy is soft to medium, I think, and you take like 10 laps on the softs and you just finish on the medium. So if you can do 30 laps on the mediums, I expect you can finish on the hards at any point in the race. If with the keyboard, I'm not sure, but I mean, he's gonna find out for us.
So Noel's not quite getting away from Justin here. He's still within the DRS range. DRS really only not really that effective really on that first the main straight, but I don't know how this is going to turn out really. Sorry?
There's a straight here? Okay.
Well, kind of a straight.
Yeah, it is a weird one really. Also, like
Verk's closing up on the back of Clara here very, very quickly. Of course, Clara is got that front wing damage, front left end plate, so I don't know how much it's going to affect him. But Justin as well. Justin's having a little look. No, he plays that smart. Keeps out of it.
Got a massive run there, but he's not going to be able to pass. The sector 1 is basically out of bounds for making a pass. You just don't really do that. Oh, as Verk gets a massive run on Clara, you can just feel, just from looking at it, you can feel the understeer in that Ferrari. And what was that? Yeah, there's a little bump in the road there, and catapulted me into the wall early in practice, and now it did nasty things to Clara's stability.
I just want to say, hopefully Verk does not prove me right. Oh, we're going to get a 2-car wide here. Verk should get this move done pretty quickly. Oh, and he gets a little bit of oversteer there, but yeah, nicely done. And Clara seems to be backing out of this one. I think Clara is...
Also letting Wimpy pass.
He trains right in front of Joel and forces Joel off the track. Yeah, Clara was kind of caught out there, really. Not really... awkward position to really end up your... he hits the wall!
That was a great moment to cut away from my side. Has a front wing? Does it exist? Does it not? It looks like it doesn't. Oh yeah, it totally doesn't. There's no front wing on that car. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you turn a Ferrari into a Williams in 4 laps. Now the front wing change for Clara, of course. Up front, Clara's teammate, Noel, still running strong, then Justin, the Ferrari versus the Mercedes, and then we've got the Toro Rosso 4 seconds behind them, so they've been able to really make a break. And yeah,
this is quite sustained pressure on Noel from Justin. However, in saying that, Noel has stretched about 1/10 of a second away from him, so I don't know how this one's going to play out. Also, while I'm just a little bit of peace here on the track, can I just say that Kitty's lovely mother is over visiting us from France, and she has just made this beautiful food called Accra. I don't know if anybody knows what it is, but it's these weird shaped things made out of fish, and it's epic. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Accra. I would like to know if Speedy's ever tried them. Accra. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
That sounds very weird. So they're like, okay, enjoy them, but don't tell me about it because I might get hungry.
Ah, right. So it's Accra, and it's from a wee island called Gordon.
Satoshi is very close to work. Maybe if you could check the lap times, I don't know. Is Satoshi quicker or is
right, I'll have a little look.
Work in control of this? But it looks like none of them has control over the gap to Justin, because that is extending by like a second a lap roughly.
So Satoshi's last lap was a 1:14.5. And the second lap was 1:14.5 as well. So just keep a wee eye here whenever he finishes this lap 5, and I'll see if he's
kind of into the wall there. Justin decides not to do anything. Oh, down there, but he literally shoves Noel through that corner. And ironically, that gives him a worse run, but maybe we're gonna see a pass here on Monaco. Is it even possible? On the outside, but no, Noel's got the inside. Yeah, this straight is just not long enough, and it is the longest straight. So, dark times for wheel-to-wheel racing, but still, respect the fact that he didn't commit for that. It's been a lot of critics, a lot of critique of Justin's driving lately, but so far he's driving in a very reasonable and calculated way, in my view. And it looks like he's got the upper hand in this. He's just pushing Noel over the track, and Noel. It looks like the stability of his car just isn't quite there. Maybe he's gonna actually go for an undercut or something because his tires might be toast enough that he wants to get fresh ones.
Yeah, Satoshi's times are up and down at the moment. He's 1:14.5s, then 1:15.5s. Lacking a little bit of consistency there as he gets himself a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, you don't really... Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Who's that? Oh, that is McLaren, and it is Joel, and he gets a penalty. I don't...
And then Inferno Boy, Inferno Coy as well.
Look at the Inferno Boy. Just as I said, that Justin had the upper hand on front, he probably made a mistake because he's now a second behind. Noel doesn't even get the very effective and totally relevant DRS.
But yes, Satoshi is slowly catching up with Burke here, so this could be the next potential battle on track. Well, it will be the next potential battle on track because everyone else is pretty much well spaced out.
He's probably made a mistake, and now he's recovering to catch up. He's gonna hope that he can get past Burke and maybe then be able to chase for the front. Or he's gonna hope for maybe a safety car that will close the gap of the 4.5 seconds, because he looks a little bit quicker than Burke, but less consistent. And these 4.7 seconds are not a joke. Like, you don't just cruise up to the back of Justin and Noel here. They are seriously quick. And Noel is seriously quicker than Justin. Maybe there's front wing damage to the Mercedes? No, there isn't.
7 laps, sorry, Timo, 7 laps or 8 laps in now, and yeah, Noel is starting to stretch that lead now up to 1:08, almost up to 2 seconds. So looking good for Noel for the race win. I know it's very early on, but a lot can happen. But initially, yeah, he's in control of this race and looking nicely for this race win. But of course, the problem with Monaco in itself is as the race starts dragging on, taking longer and longer, the focus kind of drops off. And once your focus drops off a fraction, that's whenever your race can end. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how these guys cope as we get into the later stages of the race.
I'm gonna check the standings right now. Because, yeah, Virk is our championship leader in the Tier 2 standings. And he's ahead of Keyboard Magnussen, and then it is Justin and Noel is in P4. So this could be valuable points for Noel to be collected. Virk currently running in P3, so he's gonna get 15 points as of now, 8 laps in. And Noel is gonna make, or he's gonna extend, or not extend, but close the gap by 10 points on him. That is it.
Satoshi's really closed up onto the back of Virk here. He almost rear-ended him under the final corner there. Almost Virk gets himself a 3-second time penalty cut. And this is what happens in Monaco whenever you have a guy harassing your rear end with your figure of speech.
Interesting way to say it.
Yeah. Well, I can't help. Oh, Virk gets really sideways!
And that is for Satoshi's chat, but yeah, he wasn't quite close enough, so he couldn't make a run for it and try to get past there. So yeah, that's not happening. But that's the kind of thing with the elevation change as well. If you just overdrive it a little bit there, the car's gonna throw you off like a rotor will, or the track surface rather. And then you have to be prepared to try and catch the car before you make contact with the wall. And Work did well of that, but it still cost him time. And Satoshi, of course, he's had an interesting season so far. He's sitting on 25 or 26 points in the standings, and he got all of these 26 points at China, where he won with the fastest lap. He's DNF'd from the last 2 races. Well, I think in Baku. Oh right, Work pits. That is around when we expected it to, and I think the undercut is very powerful here. Or in Work's case, he's covering off the undercut. And yeah, so Satoshi got taken out of the lead in turn 1 there, and in Baku, and in Spain he was obviously chasing and then got himself into like a few incidents that weren't necessarily his fault and that made him retire. So he didn't have the best of luck in the last 2 rounds. Maybe he can change that this time. At least he's gonna come away out of this race with 2 points more, at least.
So I don't know if Noel has had an issue or whether just Justin is really stepping it up here, but he's got that 1.9 second gap down to just 0.6 of a second. So wonder if these tires starting to really suffer, and excuse me, whether Noel's really starting to suffer with these tire temps. Although in saying that, he's just taking off in this final sector.
I wonder how much quicker Virk can go with the mediums. If he's gonna, I think he's gonna create a little bit of a gap, and I also fully expect, yeah, Satoshi pits here. Nolan and Justin stay out, so they want to be quicker towards the end of the race. Also respect that we still have all of the 9 drivers are still left in the session, so no one has actually crashed out of the race yet. Infernakoi and Wimpy both, Satoshi and Wimpy pit. Infernakoi gets himself up into P3 just by staying out of the pits.
Well, you say there, Timo, they're going to probably try and pit later to try and have, be a bit faster later in the race. However, let's not forget this is Monaco, and track position is God, or is key, or is king in this one. So, I mean, if they jump these guys in the pits, it wouldn't really make that big a difference. I feel, maybe wrong, of them having 1 or 2 fresher laps or fresher tires, because it's Monaco. I mean, it's really easy to defend, and it's really and Justin nearly bottles it there. Oh, he nearly bottles it again.
Wow, yeah, he was sliding into the wall. Luckily, this damage model is very good, so he's got the titanium wheel tethers that make it impossible to lose a wheel that way.
Justin's pitting.
For mediums as well, as expected, so he's gonna go to the end of the race here on the medium tires. I think I agree with what you said, but their gap was big enough that I fully expect them to still be ahead. Work is now coming out of the final corner. It's probably closed the gap a little bit, but Justin's still going to be ahead of him. And I think what Justin just did is probably... Oh wow, look at how much work goes in on it. It's 2.4 seconds now, it was like 6 before. And that also, yeah, leads right back to what I was gonna say, and that is that Justin probably pulled a sneaky one on Noel here, as he will have undercut him. I'm sure he's gonna be quicker than Noel on his old softs with these fresh mediums.
Well, what, a pit stop is about 20 seconds in that, right? And Justin's, what, 18 point, what, roughly 5, say, seconds. So yeah, given that math, whether it's accurate or not, Justin's going to get the jump here on Noel. So Noel missed a little trick there. He should have covered that off.
I agree. Now he's gone into the pits, and Satoshi already with the second penalty. It was really early, and he's making it really hard for me to win a match for once. And also hard on himself to win a race, but that's not the point. This is about it.
So Justin's just coming across the final corner now. So here we go. This is going to be nip and tuck. He's just crossing the line. Oh, he misses him just a bit.
Oh yeah, but he's well clear of him. Even though no gets to cut the corner because of the way the pit exit works. And yeah, he's actually lost a little bit. It's 1.6 seconds to work, and now we've got our leaders all with like gaps that are just about a high or bigger than a second.
So Noah will be absolutely kicking himself, I imagine, now, knowing what he's done wrong here. He should have went in early.
He's been really
well, this is his whole mindset is going to be changing now, and I wouldn't be surprised, to see Justin actually extend quite a gap on Noah here, because the psychological battle Noah's going to have on that car now will be taking him away from the focusing on the race. He'll be kicking himself that he didn't come in early and now he's just lost his race lead, and then he's going to try and overdrive the car to catch up. And I think ultimately it's actually going to even cost him P2.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Justin was the quicker of the two for most of the first stint, and I think this illustrates it quite well. He's already lost like a second since he exited the pits, and in return, Volk is now really all over the back of him. So Noel is struggling, as you said.
Yeah. I mean, we've said it many times before. It's not just the your racing ability. It's also the mental battle you can have with yourself. As Joel gets himself a 3-second time penalty. I think that's quite a few he's got now. Yeah. That is another thing. The penalties may actually come into, well, probably will come into effect for these first top 3 places. So, I mean, it's only lap 14, but it's still quite a bit of this race to go yet.
And Volk is, I think, the only one in the top 3 to have a penalty. Satoshi's got 2 of them, but he's in P4. And further back, Infernico and Keyboard Magnus are actually fighting, and I imagine Infernico is going to be clearly the quicker one of the two. So Keyboard Magnus is kind of undercut Infernico by going into the pits in lap 1, because the hards don't die and the softs do. And now on much fresher tires, Infernico is behind Keyboard Magnus. And how did the 17-second gap between Keyboard Magnus and Wimpy come to be?
I'm not sure. I'm just running down the penalty situation here, and Verk has, I think, Verk has 6 seconds, and Satoshi has 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
100% sure. Because I'm very certain I saw 2 for Satoshi.
Right, let me run down again.
Oh, Inferno! I don't know if, not Inferno. Yeah, Inferno. I think he just might have lost a bit of carbon fiber there. He's not getting past because it's Monaco. I know the feeling of getting stuck behind another driver at Monaco. It can be very frustrating, and it also can be wimpy, and then you can get memed about it for like another year after that, and it hurts your soul.
It can become, it can become 2S folklore.
Yeah, it is like 90% of my identity and my my super villain origin story. Me watching Wimpy's rear for 30 minutes, that sounded very hot.
But you're right, Satoshi does indeed have 6 seconds.
Of course I'm right, what the hell did you think?
I thought you were wrong.
And that is why Benz is the standard commentator.
Noel and Justin don't have any penalties.
Yeah. I know, I said that, dimwit.
Verk, yeah, up to almost half a second on Noel. So Noel's just not having his day here, really. It was going so well. Yeah.
He was having his 15 minutes, though.
Oh,
Verk, you don't
Verk.
want to cut there. Oh, Clara, out of the race. And that was unexpected. Are we gonna get a safety car? Yes, we are, and that is gonna bunch everything up. Is there anyone who's gonna profit? I imagine Keyboard Magnus is gonna come into the pits. Because...
It's game on now, people.
Yeah, I think Keyboard Magnus is gonna pit. He's gonna lose a position to Monaco, but I think he was anyways. So, I also missed the spot where Clara crashed. It was here.
Yeah, I think it was around near the final
passed
sector there.
Yeah, so... Yeah, Joel just
Joel-
passed the place where
What's
Clara
Joel
passed.
doing? He's stopping. He can't make his mind. What's he doing? He stopped. He just stopped. What's he doing?
Coming to the pits. He's being lapped, isn't he?
No, he kind of just stopped outside the
But
pits
he's
and
lapped
almost.
now. The pit stop doesn't help you if you're getting yourself lapped, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
In other news,
in other news, Keyboard Magazine may well come back into this race now. This safety car is going to help him a lot. 14 lap hard with so much of the race to go yet. Ah, man, that's going to see. He needs to come in. Pit now, box. And he does. So a nice set of mediums on his Force India, I expect.
what's a Force India?
He-
You mean a Sport Pacer Score PWT Force India Racing Point Formula 1 team Mercedes?
What did I call it? Force India?
Yes.
Oh, that's sick. I'm stuck in the past.
The future's now old, man. They're about to be called Aston Martin and still everyone's gonna call them Force India.
Well, whilst these guys are running around trying to catch up with the safety car, I'm going to dip into the chat to see what's been going on in the chat. And starting off with Mr. Forrest McCormick says, haha, Timo can't beat Wimpy. Ha 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 ha. How does that make you feel, Timo? You're being mocked.
It's been 6 months, Pixel! Ah! I'm in pain.
Shit stinks.
Yeah. Do you feel bad now? I think you
No,
feel
not at all.
satisfied.
Actually, I feel good about that. What else have we got here? We've got, Chief was saying that he's in VC with Wimps and Joel was sorting out his MDF.
MFD.
Oh, sorry, his MFD, MDF. that's
Aston
me.
Martin Force India SP Sports Pacer Racing Point Formula 1 team says that bands.
Bended appendage, brethren, says Forrest.
Are we the TTS for the chat? Oh, no, this Joel is disqualified. Wait, didn't I just see someone getting DQ'd? Am I being intelligent? Wait a second, I'm gonna...
Surely not.
No, I just rewinded. It definitely was a disqualification notification. When is the... This is so interesting. Is a safety car coming in soon?
DNF, the only DNF or DSQ or whatever is just Clara, DNF, terminal damage.
Yeah, but... Give me a moment. I'm gonna find it.
Bounce says he's getting manipulated into working.
That is very unfair. You should never break. It's just not fun.
Yeah, Speedy sent the check. Speedy can check race director. That's what I just did there. I checked the race director, and the only thing it says is the DNF for Clara. So
Yeah, it says disqualified from session, parking in dangerous location for Joel, but he's still driving, so that's great. That is
yeah,
good
Chiefs
for Joel.
confirmed. Chiefs confirmed that Joel is not DSQ.
But yeah, he's not there. The game told me he is. Unfortunate. Can we Should I like try and call back my render to get him to do H-tar move? Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it is great. So they're driving under safety car, and suddenly the safety car crashes into the wall and takes out the first two drivers. It is very great.
Oh, was that video? Was that a
Yeah.
video post? Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. That is H-tar. I think we should reproduce it here so when P and Infinite Koi get the podiums.
Dan says, by the way, Slash, nice vessel, bro.
Oh, he's got a nice bore vessel, Etruscan ceramic, 600 to 500 BC.
I mean, I'm just winging this because I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm just pretending that I do. What's that? He said, thanks, King. Since when was Bance the King?
Well, I mean, that's the kind of thing you say when someone compliments you on your bore vessel.
Appendage.
Ceramic.
Your appendage.
I don't know what
Anyway.
you're on about.
Appendage. You didn't know appendage?
No, I don't know what that is, but I probably don't want to, so it's fine.
No. You can sometimes... No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's for... Oh, safety car in this lap. Game on.
You not tell me because I sound like 12 and you don't want to be sued.
No, it's because we're live to the world.
Okay. Great. So
Anyway, safety car is...
later. So the question is, how's that gonna go? And I think Justin has already started to run. Yeah, he was not really like backing anyone off, and the grid is very spread out already. So there's probably not going to be any moves on the safety car restart. Maybe Keyboard Magnussen on Wimpy. Of course, behind him after he pitted, also behind the Formula Koi. So those two are maybe battling, but up front, I think Justin is already doing a good job of getting away of Noel, even though Noel kind of still hangs on. Yeah, he does.
I don't understand why Keyboard stuck another set of media or hards on.
I mean,
am I missing something, or was that the wrong call? I would have thought maybe a fresh set of mediums, he would have had the advantage.
Yeah, he would have made it to the end. I mean, no matter how bad the keyboard is, it can't be that bad.
Yeah, so Justin got a nice breakaway off the start of the safety car, but Satoshi is reeling in Verk, so I don't know. Yeah, Verk, and of course, these guys got hit for a fresh set, so this is just continuing on off the previous battle they had before the safety car came out, and Satoshi does seem to be the quicker driver here off the two, but of course, it is Monaco.
Yeah, he doesn't really get close enough to even attempt anything, and then when he's close enough, he seems to always make a hash of the final corner. He got sideways in that run, we saw that, and I mean that also costs you the opportunity, so you can't do anything about it. And they're already falling off the back of Noel, who himself is falling off the back of Justin. You can see how Verk is going very, very aggressive in the race hairpin. On the inside, he cuts a good bit of that, and I think that gives him warnings, and you don't want to get warnings for obvious reasons. I'm a commentator, by the way, I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, they don't just put anybody on these mics.
Yeah.
They don't put any old schmuck.
Did you just call me a schmuck?
No, I didn't. I said that I'm confirming what you said. I'm saying they don't just put any old schmuck on the microphone.
But you're here.
I am commentating royalty here. You should be grateful that I agreed to this.
I'm sorry, I am...
Because I was setting myself up to sneakily sneak into this race and join at the back. I mean, I've set myself as a reserve for the entire...
Joining and driving from the back in this race is like... Okay, you're pretend great. We're gonna get the points tipsy. How do you feel about that?
Timo, just because you can't pass people doesn't mean everybody else can't. Alright?
Yeah, if I'm gonna try to overtake you in today's race, you're going to pass.
I wouldn't recommend it.
it's fine. I'm not the one passing. That's you. I'm sure we're gonna see each other. I'm gonna high-five you when you're in the wall.
Unlikely.
Probably actually unlikely, but yeah.
Yeah, so Wimpy's actually squeezing up here to Inferno. So may indeed see. Oh, Inferno gets a big lock up there. And DRS has been enabled. And Wimpy has the DRS on Inferno. Inferno does not have that luxury.
Yeah, that will change everything, I'm sure. And that was probably a warning for him. Turn 1 is very easy to get warnings, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I wonder why you're saying you're a royalty. I'm literally the EGL commentary king's guard. Me and Twallop, we have invented EGL commentary. We were the first ones. I'm sorry, Tipsy. You're one of the new kids on the block. You still have to earn your respect by singing even more country roads.
Oh, Chief says, news just in, Tier 1 2S Monaco was cancelled due to the coronavirus. See, that's just Chief looking for excuses.
Yeah, I think he's commentating, isn't he?
No, he's racing.
I hope he's racing. I want to fight him.
No, because there's been another car to lap.
Well, but who's gonna commentate then? Because I think Pixel asked out. Satoshi always gets that one corner wrong, and now he's actually closer to Inferno Code than Satoshi than he is to Berg. So, while it is probably true that he was the quicker of working himself earlier on, now he's just, I don't know, kind of impatient in traction. They're over-pushing the car. I imagine they're over-pushing the car at Monaco. It's not something you want to do, ever. Unless you're like filming a crash compilation and you want to have some sick moments.
Oh, apparently Chief saying that the commentary gig has already been covered, so we do have commentating for Tier 1. That means Chief will be on track, ladies and gentlemen, so tune in for that one.
Yes! I can finally drive, now it's finally not no man's land again, it is two man's land. With Chief and myself.
It's a bit like whenever I go karting with my with Chief and the family. I always invite my father, who's 73. I always invite, that means that someone's going to finish last and it won't be us. Chief's a bit like that.
Can you stop saying out loud what I was thinking on the past days when I was hoping Chief would drive?
Another 3 seconds. So this Wimpy's able to just keep up with this roughly half a second gap, 0.6 of a second gap with Inferno, but he can't, get any closer. And these times are kind of neutralizing themselves. Oh, Inferno nearly loses it there.
It is also very sad to see Keyboard Magnussen. He has won in. Wait, never mind. He hasn't won last race. He's won the last race in.
Yep.
But, yeah, he's also been very close to victory on another street circuit that isn't horrible on a keyboard. But this one totally, as you can see, is already 4 seconds off of Wimpy. And probably, yeah, clearly the slowest car on track, and I'm very certain that it's not his own fault, and that's, like, very sad. On the other hand, you could just buy a pad. But then you would have to get a new nickname, so that's not happening.
Pad Magnussen.
Yeah, we clearly didn't have
Oh wait, hang on. So Speedy will be listening. So Control Pad Magnussen.
Oh great. Rebalance Pad Magnussen.
So whilst we're watching these guys just like kind of a train at the moment, following each other around, let me deviate slightly and ask, has the EGL got it? Oh, it went into the wall, and he manages to get away. Just manages to get away with it. Yeah, he's getting a little bit too eager.
There was a bit of wing flying. Was that Wimpy? Or was it
Wimpy hit the wall there, yeah, so. But
that's the right end plate gone.
Right wing, yeah. But have we got someone coming? Oh, Wimby hits the wall! His rear right end clips the barrier, and he goes round and it's always the danger of Monaco when you try and cut that corner just a little bit too tightly. You think you've got the front end round, no problem, but your rear end still has to come round too.
Yeah, it happens on this track and on this track only. Also in that corner he's in right now. I think that also happened to, I think, Hakkinen, like 89 or something.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure I saw that one. But it was in the Raskas, wasn't it?
Oh, we got a yellow in sector 3 and it's Inferno!
Oh no, both of them have cracked! Yeah.
So, if only Wimpy had left his cracking a little bit later, he could have got past him.
Yeah, this is kind of like when I was playing on the PS3 with my father, Gran Turismo, and like every time he made a very dumb mistake, I always pretended to be very bad and like crashed into a wall to let him catch up. I'm very certain that's what Monaco totally did. It's not that he made a mistake.
Well, Timo, something I said earlier in the start of the race, I think, or maybe the end of the qualifying, is that the beauty about, or the difficulty with Monaco is, I said earlier, that at the beginning half of the race, everyone can go round and round, no problem, genuinely. But it's when you get into the latter stages of the race, when the focus starts hitting you, you're 27, 28, 29 laps, the focus starts to switch off, and I'm wondering, is that what's happening with some of these guys? Because I've just been running down some of them here on the spectator camera, and a few of them are kind of making little itty-bitty mistakes here, running deep, and maybe missing their apexes, missing the turn-ins. And so we're getting into the potential for disaster time for these guys, as Noel also is closing in on Justin. I mean, it is a long.
Can you check the penalties between the two of them? I haven't seen one of either.
Yes.
Oh, yellows, and it's Joel, I think. Yeah, Joel is parked in the I forgot the name. Harbour chicane, but I forgot the other name. Yeah, he's got problems, so he's gonna pit again. Maybe for Soft to try and get a fastest lap, who knows.
So far, according to the race director, there are no penalties for Justin and Noel, but both have 2 warnings each. So one more corner cut, and they're going to get themselves a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I think Monaco is one of these tracks where you just have to make sure you don't get any, because it's not really beneficial. There's like basically, apart from turn 1, there's like no corner where you need to get very close to cutting for it to be an advantage. Maybe the Harbour chicane. No, still can't think of the name. But it's Harbour chicane. Joe gets a penalty. 5 seconds for corner cutting. Where can you even do that? There's not enough space on this track. So like, this is one of the tracks where you really don't want to get a penalty. Oh, Noel! That was a hefty punt, but I don't think he lost any of his front wing, which is quite fortunate, yeah. But he was kind of running out of focus there, I imagine.
So Chief says that Wimpy is running around with an orange front wing, so he's not like that.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you read that up, but Tara explained to us why Keyboard Max. Oh no! And we saw that one, and he's cut the corner. Now he's on the back foot, and if Justin finds that out, he can lean back and basically just drive home. Because if he gets a penalty, then this is an actual fight again. But if he doesn't, then this is probably his victory. And what I was about to say is that Tara said.
Oh, sorry, no. I know what you were going to say, because I actually noticed that. But let me say, Chiefs also mentioned it as well, just as I was about to say it. But Noel has also got front wing damage. He's missing a front right end plate.
Front right. Then he did lose it when he hit the. Yeah, he's been dropping off since he did that, so I'm very sure that's what happened. And that induces understeer, and understeer, of course, makes you more prone to cutting corners because you just can't. Your car isn't as agile, and you might just go into the runoff. As Elias is greeting Ocean Jeff. That is probably the nicest thing Jeff has heard in a while. Also, I must say, even though we don't have a lot of battles, is I think for some reason Monaco it is very nice to see the cars going around. I enjoy it a lot. Like, it just looks beautiful seeing these cars because you have to be so precise and they get so close to the walls. It is quite exciting, even though there's like no battle on track right now.
Yeah, I mean, we did kind of call this privately that this may well be kind of like a train race, more or less, just following cars around the track.
Yeah, that's not quite the word I used, but yeah. Sure.
No, but I'm just covering for you, team. Team will use much more descriptive words.
Yeah.
Colourful words, I think, is the correct way of putting it. But yeah,
I called it a fest.
You did call it a fest of sorts, yes. But we'll leave the public to decide that. But yeah. Well, I completely forget what I was going to say now.
Perfect, mission accomplished. Now you have more time to figure it out, and that covers more time. You're welcome.
Nah, it's gone.
Try brave for Tipsy's train of thought.
So this is pretty comfortable now for I was going to say Joel or Justin. No penalties. His car is intact, according from what I can see, and he's got a nice 2.5 second lead over Noel, whom indeed has a 3 second time penalty and suffering from front wing damage. Given a big error or a big mistake from Justin, he has got this in the bag with only a few more laps to go.
You think Burke is going to be able to catch Noel? I think he's got more penalties. But maybe on track he could. Oh, I think Noel just hit the wall again. He's clearly not comfortable with that understeering car. He must feel like an absolute boat right now. So I'm having a look at the standings now. So Justin's gonna get 25 points. So he's gonna, if he is, but I'm just assuming this is how we come home. Maybe I'm jinxing everyone over. But if I did, that wouldn't be that much of a show. It would be exciting. Justin would get 25 points, so he'd be at 74. Work would get 15, and he'd be at 83. So it would be a 9 points gap, and Justin is gonna make it closer at the front between himself and Burke. Noel would catch some up. Keyboard Magnus is gonna be the biggest loser because, of course, he's only limping around in P7 and is absolutely cooking. Or the hearts are probably not cooking, but yeah, on his keyboard that is just objectively much inferior here. So he's gonna drop off quite a bit, but Justin, Noel, and Burke are just the battle at the front will get tighter with this result for sure.
But the on-track potential battle still to come, potentially, is this battle for P2, because of course Verk doesn't have any damage. Noel is struggling big time. Oh, I seen Justin getting a bit sideways there, did I? Just have a wee check for his car. Yeah, but anyway, this battle for P2 could heat up very well. Yeah, it actually will heat up because he was 2.2 seconds behind. He's now 1.7 and closing fast. So this P2 is potentially going to slip away from Noel into the hands of Verk. However, from my knowledge, as Joel gets himself a 3 second time penalty, from my memory, I think Verk has got about 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And even if the car in front of you has got front wing damage, although it doesn't seem that major initially, it's still difficult to pass, regardless of whether they've got worn tires and missing an end plate. It's still Monaco. So Verk might actually see himself a little frustrated here behind Noel. But when he's got just under 5 laps to go. So Noel is going to have 5 laps of pure harassment from Verk. Forgive me if I'm sounding a little bit out of breath because it's hiccuping here. I don't know what it is. Every time I stream or commentate, I get hiccups. It's usually because I'm drinking, normally. Yes, we have Elias B. Says, no heroics to Santé Devot, please. Or a Saint Devot.
You want to move to France?
Mais oui. Je voudrais habiter en France.
Sainte Devot.
C'était what?
What?
En plus, c'était un merveilleux.
But yeah, in any case, we can assure Elias that there were indeed no heroics into Sainte Devot, and everything is gonna, oh my god, /LP joined, or everyone's gonna crash and die.
And Burke is now 0.4 of a second behind Noel, and this battle is game on now for this P2. Burke will want every bit of that P2. And just before the battle heats up, can I just say I've been absolutely spoiled today in this race, because whilst I have been streaming here, guys, secretly in the background, my wife, Kitsune, has been bringing me Accra, made by her mum, 2 portions of it, glasses of drinks, and now she's just served me with her own homemade ice cream with a lovely raspberry kind of thing which I go over it. This has been epic. Don't know about you, Timo, but I'm having a laugh here. I'm having an absolute feast.
I'm sorry, I'm not married yet. It just doesn't.
Don't apologize for it.
It just doesn't. But getting served food sounds very good.
I'm telling you, it's epic.
I should check if my mother's still alive.
No, okay. You're taking this conversation down a path that
oh no, we've lost Joel. Well, he was running in last, and Wimpy's
virtual safety car.
Oh, that could. Well, it's probably not gonna change anything. But if one of these,
well, it's gonna help Noel.
One of these guys is gonna get the worst of it, then maybe it can impact the fight.
The thing about the virtual safety car is you can actually lose out in the virtual safety car, but then you can also win, because if you nail your deltas perfectly and the guy in front of you doesn't, you can close up on him massively, as we're seeing.
Oh,
yeah,
it's very close there.
Yeah.
Heroics into
Sainte Devot.
That's all Sainte Devot, I'm sorry. It bothers me that I forgot the name of Harbour Chicane. Tara, please help me. I think it was something with an N. It's a dangerous sentence to say into this era.
Yeah, it really is. That's why I paused for a brief moment there. Let me try and find it for you.
Nouvelle Chicane, I think. I think that's what I was searching for. It's Hatzenbach. Thank you, Tara.
Nouvelle Chicane just literally means new chicane in English. Hatzenbach.
Hatzenbach. That is clearly the corner name.
Hatzenbach.
Hatzenbach. Do you know where Hatzenbach is?
Suppose if you were racing in the 1940s in Monaco, it would have been called Hatzenbach.
No, Hatzenbach is somewhere else. Do you know where?
No.
It is in Nordschleife corner.
Is this something you've seen in GeoGuessr?
Oh! Fuck! That was useless, and that is gonna make it basically impossible. Not that he had much of a shot, but I think he might actually himself just drop off. Well, is he actually in trouble because of Satoshi? How many penalties does Satoshi have? I think Berg is sitting on 9 seconds now.
Yeah, Satoshi has 6.
Oh, so actually Satoshi is looking like he might get a podium here, and if Berg is aware of that, he has to push, and he has to get, well, maybe he has to get past Noel even, because I imagine Satoshi is gonna be quicker than Noel right now, so as long as he's stuck behind Noel, he's not gonna be quicker than him, so Satoshi's gonna close in on him. It's a very complicated sentence, but I think Berg is in trouble. Oh, look at him! Wow, he definitely got a warning for that one, rightfully so. But you know, he's probably in the mode, he can afford it.
Yeah, I'm really, really, really concerned for Noel here.
Oh, for Noel?
Yeah, if
Berg's gonna try something crazy.
Well, Berg just got it completely wrong up the hill there, and that's given a little bit of a breather to Noel, but yeah. I fear for Noel's safety. That's it.
Yeah, you think Berg might do something short-sighted here? it is entirely possible. Some drivers tend to panic when they run out of time and they're in a situation, and that's why look at him, he doesn't have any ERS, so even if he was to get a good run, No could just counter with all the ERS he's got, and Satoshi's getting closer and closer, so if Satoshi doesn't get a penalty himself now, looks like he's just back on the podium without really doing much on track for it. He's still driven a good race. And Noel maybe... Oh, yeah, you were right to fear for a safety. Luckily, there's no punctures in this, because now Burke has lost a good chunk of his front wing in the rear tire of Noel. So, that's not going to help either of them. But mainly, Burke is in trouble, and I think this is a sealed deal. He's lost that podium just by cutting the chicane there. Well, at least Satoshi's going to be happy about that.
Oh, what's Noel doing?
Oh, he's letting him through.
Why?
Why? What are you doing?
Why? What's he doing that for? He doesn't have... What?
Is he putting his fingertips in the scale? What's he doing?
What's he... Noel?
Well, it's still 1.6 seconds. Volk has to be a second quicker than Satoshi. But it's still weird. Why would you do that?
What? Yeah. I don't get that.
I don't know though. It is a puzzle.
That's a real bizarre one there.
Yeah.
Just hold him behind you, you know, it's... The onus is on him to pass. He's got more penalty points, so Noel's going to jump him anyway.
Yeah.
But,
well, anyways, someone who doesn't have penalties is Justin, and he takes victory in Monaco. It was a quiet race for him, because after he undercut himself into the lead, he just did it perfectly, really, and there wasn't any contesting going on there. Noel takes P2 after a good drive. He's had his fair share of moments, and he's come home with a damaged front wing, but still a good drive for him to get into P2. Satoshi gets himself a podium. He hasn't really been in the spotlight at all this race, but he comes in right at the end and sneaks the final podium place. Volk at P4, and Wimpy gets P5 off of Inferno Koi. They've had their battles, and in the end Wimpy comes out on top, another P5. I think he finished P5 in Bahrain. He's going to be decently happy with that. Inferno Koi in P6, and the one plagued with the objectively worst method to play this game is Keyboard Magnussen in P7. And we've got two non-finishers that are still going to take home points, and that has been the Monaco Grand Prix. There's only been 9 drivers, which has been quite the shame, but I think the driving quality of the few drivers that were there was like pretty good. Again, we haven't seen anything dumb. Like I full on expected some very dumb scenes to happen here, as drivers will be desperate to like somehow pass it. You always have to. You have to put it all on one card if you're gonna try and make it pass this. So like even the best drivers collide here, and if you're gonna, just impatience with this track doesn't do well. I expected carnage. We didn't get carnage, and I'm very happy about that. So it's kind of a bit of a redemption after the mess that Baku has been, and I think we can take that as a positive out of this race and look forward to Canada, which is a great track for racing. And I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I think we could be forgiven for having a slight kind of prejudgment of carnage, given the previous few races. But yeah, I kind of echo pretty much what you just said there, Timo. It was a very clean race. It wasn't the most dramatic, most exciting, kind of to be expected with that many drivers. But overall, I think they all did very good. And that just leads us on to, I don't know whether we're going to have much time for interviews, considering we've only got about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would just...
So we may have to give that a pass. So the only thing I suppose we could do then, Timo, would be the driver of the day. For me, it's pretty much a no-brainer. I would give it to Justin, considering he got no penalties and did the smart move in the pits, got the lead, and never even looked like he was going to give it up. So for me, I would give it to Justin.
Yeah, there's no real other choice. Like everyone else has made some mistakes of sort, but Justin really hasn't put a single foot wrong. And he's been, I mean, he's had he's got 20 penalty points, so he's put some feet wrong in the past, but today was completely flawless drive and a very deserving victory. With the penalties in the end, the gap was 12 seconds, so it was even more dominant than it looked. And yeah, he did well to deserve that one. So I think that about wraps it up. But don't leave us yet. Stick around,
Yes.
because we're gonna hop into the seats, and we're gonna drive like, well, I'm gonna drive like 3 laps of Monaco, and Tipsy's probably gonna do the full race.
Yes.
As SLR Tier 1 is heading to the track that has just been warmed up by the Tier 2 squad, and yeah, look forward to that. I hope it's going to be an exciting one, as exciting as racing at Monaco can be.
Yeah, stay tuned, everyone. As Timo says, we're moving on to it. You heard to me and Timo and myself judging those guys, so now it's for everyone else to judge us on the Tier 1. And I'm expecting a higher turnout than Tier 1, and there's going to be some quality drivers.
I think
So
there's 15 sign-ups. Yeah.
Ooh, qualifying is going to be exciting.
Ooh, last season we had 20 drivers here, and it was a full break race.
It's just finding spaceman in the quali laps is a nightmare.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was a good
Anyway,
race,
with that being said, I'm going to sign off, so you can do whatever you want with your stream. I'm away.
Oh yeah, the thing I want to do with my stream is say goodbye. Thanks for watching. See you in 10 minutes.
Bye.
Bye.